Hi, welcome to the second part of this series, The Real Rules of Business. And we're going into rule number 2. So again, just to iterate, over the last few weeks, I've been talking to members of WYODC and they've been fed a lot of junk. Like as an entrepreneur, especially if you're a first time or a slightly more experienced entrepreneur, you may be facing a lot of frustration right now. And the reason you're facing a lot of frustration is because you've been fed bullshit and misinformation. And what I want to do is not just to dispel the myths, but to fill it with what I think are the principles or the truths about business, at least from where I stand, and to help you, create a very successful company. So over to rule number 2. It's a slight mouthful. I usually prefer slightly shorter acronyms, slightly shorter sentences, because that's how I roll. But really, I think this is essential. I think this warrants me, in a sense, breaking my own rules, as it were. And that is, you need to be, when it comes to business, rule number 1 was create a sellable machine. Rule number 2, you need to be passionate. Okay, this is supposed to be a love, by the way. Need to be passionate about 2 things. So you need to be passionate. It's a dual passion. And you need to be passionate about purpose and about pivots. So purpose and pivots. So what do I mean by that? So before I go on, let me just set the stage. So really what happens in business is you take the process, like to have a successful company, generally, it takes 3 to 5 years. So, and that's if everything goes well, you're doing the right thing, you are trusting the right partners, you have sufficient equipping, you're going down the right track, you're getting the right information like this video series. It takes 3 to 5 years, but generally it takes longer, because here's the thing about business. The time horizon, right? Like we think the time horizon, like when you start a business, 0 years, because of all the passive income bullshit, because of all the you're one funnel away from changing your life, etc. You think that you will succeed in the first, even your first year or your second year. But the reality of it is that business has a huge time horizon. We're talking about 3, 5, even 10 years. And that's really because if you want to create a machine is not instant. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, and that is, we talk a bit about passion. Like let's put passion. And a lot of businesses, in order to sustain, you need feel. And your feel is, is derived from passion. But it needs to be passion about the right things, because here's the problem with when it comes to passion, is that it's directed at things that will not sustain you for 3 to 5 years, because in order to succeed in business, you need 3 to 5 years holding power. It's like you're investing in, stocks, shares, crypto, etc. You have a time horizon. That means no matter what, you're not tempted to withdraw early and thus forfeiting your investment. You're there for the long haul. And so most people are passionate about a few very random things. And they're either passionate about firing their boss, which, is really one of the worst ways to, because, someone did say a few days ago that once you work for yourself, you have a lunatic for the boss, which is you. Someone financial freedom, which again is bonkers because, it took me nearly 10 years to get back to my starting salary before I started having a wage that I could live when I went to business for myself. So passion is not about that. And the other thing that a lot of times is you are skilled at something. So let's say you're a baker in a huge bakery chain. And basically other people tell you, usually the commentators say, whether you go into business yourself, you make all the money yourself instead of your boss. You ever heard that? You probably can raise your hands at the other side of the screen. The problem is that you're a cog in the machine, but when you're an entrepreneur, you need to think about the machine itself. And that's why when suddenly all these bakers, they will go into cafes and they start feeling and they start seeing that there's a lot of issues because now there's manpower, the equipment doesn't work, customer service, etc., etc. And you realize that your boss has figured it out. And so, so the main problem is when you're passionate about these issues, it doesn't drive you really. Like if you're passionate about firing your boss, you're your own worst boss. You probably go from the flame into the frying pan. If you're passionate about financial freedom, forget about it. You can attain financial freedom from your basically from business and everything, but it's not going to be at the first try. In fact, it takes you maybe even longer, maybe 10, 15 years to start getting financially free. Even people in the FIRE movement, the financially independent retire early movement, are not retiring so early anymore because all this happened during the bull market. And now there's a bear, they don't know what to do. And process is a problem because if you're in love with just your craft, then it's an issue. So then the question is, where do you redirect your passion to? Because you still need passion. Because again, passion is fuel. If you're doing things without any energy, you're not going to sustain 3 to 5 years. You need to find that 3 to 5 years just so you can start seeing that income. So first is purpose. Very important is purpose. And purpose, again, is not a small purpose. Because your purpose is just to be a digital nomad and all those things, or to fire your boss and everything, then you wouldn't go very far. But if your purpose is to change the world, I'm drawing a big globe here, or have an epic purpose where you change 1 million lives and all those things, then that drives you like, hey, I'm doing this for humanity, I'm doing this. So it doesn't have to be such a big purpose, but it should be bigger than whatever the first 3 are. So that feels like the purpose. In fact, I had a chat with one of the top nootropic guys in the world. So this guy is like a PhD in altered substances, Dr. Jack. Shout out to Dr. Jack. Met him in Lithuania, and we struck a very interesting conversation. And he said that to my surprise, that the most interesting nootropic, the most powerful nootropic is a sense of purpose. Even more than the mushrooms, the psilocybin, the LSDs, and the whatnot, lion manes and all those things, is a sense of purpose. So that's very potent, more potent than nootropics. And the second thing is about the pivot. And professionally, it means changing direction. But it's changing direction so you can meet your purpose. Because here's the thing about business. Business will always change. The marketplace will always change. Funnels will always change. Business models will always change. And we live in a realm where the past and even the present is not the future. So the past and the present is not the future, which basically means how you do things in the past. If you don't evolve, you will not hit your purpose. And that is why you need to be passionate about the game of business, because business is a game. Money is how you keep score. And you need to be skilled in the language of business. You need to be skilled in market trends. You need to be skilled in really starting from scratch if you need to. But the good thing about business, if you do things correctly, you start from scratch at a higher level. So you do a business, and when the market changes and there's disruption, at least if you do it correctly, you have built assets along the way. So you have built your database, you have built your Twitter following, you have built personal branding, you have built your network, so that when you need to reinvent yourself, you're starting from this place instead of starting all the way from the beginning again. And that is why a lot of super affiliates have problems sustaining a business, because they never built a mailing list. They just focus purely on their front end offers. And when the market changes, boom, then they just go back down, like some of my friends did, and then they never come up again. And so, again, it's I think it's a very simple but very powerful scenario, and that is, again, rule number 2. Because business takes a long while to get to where you are. Therefore, your passion, which is your rocket fuel, should be channeled into not the process, not firing your boss, not any of those things, but a sense of purpose and a pivot, which is to reinvent yourself so you hit that purpose. And so with that, again, watch the next few videos so you can drill deep into this. But it gives you that frame of reference that, yes, amateurs confuse the beginning with the end, but really the beginning is the beginning, and then you work towards the end. So that's it from me. This is Ken of You about to sign off. But again, I have a launch coming up. It's a masterclass where we go into what makes a compelling online business. And I want you to be part of it. We're doing a keynote next week. So just come on board, sign up. It's totally free. And the link is in the description below. So again, like, subscribe, please comment. I don't get a lot of comments. I get a lot of likes and I get a lot of offline comments, but to help the algorithm, just please comment and let me know if this helps you, even in the smallest regard. So this is Ken of You signing off to Writing Your Own Damn Check. I'll see you on the other side. Bye.